Why should you start with gymnastics training or calisthenics instead of traditional gym workouts? In this video, I'll tell you 5 reasons why gymnastics training or calisthenics can give you better results than traditional gym workouts. The first main reason is a simple principle. Before you start moving heavy weights, first, learn to move your own body at least at a basic level. In terms of basics, in the gym, you will perform roughly the same exercises as with bodyweight training, but there are some differences between the two. With gym machines, you tend to isolate muscle groups more, while bodyweight exercises involve almost the entire body, especially due to increased core stabilization, allowing you to train your muscles in a more balanced way and build functional strength. For example, if we compare push-ups and the chest press machine, in push-ups, your body's center of gravity is moving, requiring more stabilization. In contrast, with pressing in a machine, your body's center of gravity doesn't move because you are sitting in one place, moving external weight, thus involving fewer muscle groups in the movement. The same is true for exercises like inverted rows versus chest-supported row machines, pull-ups versus cable pull-downs, handstand push-ups versus overhead press, and squats versus certain leg press machines. Isolated, targeted load isn't necessarily bad, of course. It's excellent for rehabilitation purposes or for more effective loading of specific muscle groups in advanced cases. However, it's better to first build up the more complex, functional bodyweight variation, as it allows you to develop strength more harmoniously, puts less strain on your joints, and provides a solid foundation for later progress. Unless there is a specific contraindication against bodyweight exercises, or you're using machines for rehabilitation purposes, which is partly why they were invented, bodyweight exercises are much more effective for beginners. These exercises require greater stabilization, involve more muscle groups, and develop more functional strength. Of course, there are also compound exercises in gym training with weights, which are incredibly functional, but they require the foundations I mentioned. Normally, if you maximize your strength and muscle development with bodyweight training and want to isolate certain muscle groups more, you can work with machines, or if you want to build additional functional strength with weightlifting or kettlebell exercises, you can safely do so with the right foundations. This isn't anything new, it's entirely logical, and famous, respected bodybuilders also favor and recommend bodyweight basics. Not to mention, if you have the proper bodyweight foundations, you'll be much stronger on machines or in classic exercises. I have friends and students who build great foundations with bodyweight, then switch to gym training and instantly could bench press 80-100 kilograms with no gym background. I won't elaborate further, you probably understand the principle that even bodybuilders affirm: with bodyweight basics, you're only doing well, building functional strength and aesthetic muscles harmoniously, which you can then further develop with weight training if you wish. The second main reason is that you can achieve all I mentioned with minimal or no equipment. You don't need a lot of space, various machines for each muscle group or weights. Initially, you don't need any equipment at all, and later on, at most, you might need a dip bar, pull-up bar, gymnastics rings, possibly parallettes, and a few resistance bands for which you can find plenty of cost-effective solutions. Therefore, bodyweight training is certainly more cost-effective in the long run, and even if you don't want to spend money on equipment, you can still manage your workouts at home. My 12-week home transformation program offers this possibility, as well as any calisthenics park you can probably find in your city. The third main reason is the lower risk of injury. Unfortunately, the risk of injury exists in all types of training, and it mainly depends on proper technique, attention, and appropriate intensity. However, in case of bodyweight training, we can generally say the risk of injury is lower because we are not working with external weights, making it a bit harder to overload ourselves. Lifting and moving external weights generally carries a greater risk of injury. I know it's a broad generalization, but it's true. As I mentioned, the risk of injuries is not low even with bodyweight exercises, and while they are sometimes unavoidable, their risk can be drastically reduced by developing body awareness and preparing the joints. Since most bodyweight exercises are compound movements involving multiple joints, it's important to understand their functions, warm up, mobilize, and strengthen them beforehand. This can lead to better body awareness, mobility, and strength, potentially reducing the risk of injuries in most exercises. In the gymnastics method system, there is a program and a routine developed and structured for this, which you can find in the description below if you're interested. After the joint preparation process in bodyweight training, you can gradually increase the difficulty and reduce the risk of injuries using different progressions. Here, it's not about increasing the number of plates or weights on the machine, but about changing the body position or length to increase or decrease the load. This is much more complex than adjusting weights. There are many ways to make different bodyweight exercises easier or harder, but there are channels and programs like this one where you can learn the knowledge of bodyweight training. The fourth main reason is that mastering bodyweight exercises can significantly improve your flexibility. As I mentioned in the previous point, due to the complexity of the exercises, it's beneficial to start with joint preparation, which helps you to learn how your different joints function, along with thorough warm-ups and stretching. This process can greatly enhance your mobility and stability, which will be advantageous in mastering basic exercises and also beneficial if you later start weight training. With joint preparation and other bodyweight exercises, you can build a flexible and strong body, enjoying the transfer effects in other disciplines. Of course, these elements can be applied in gym workouts as well, but in general, their approach is different and they may not emphasize them as much as in gymnastics training. The fifth main reason is variety. Even the joint preparation process I mentioned earlier can be an exciting novelty for many, whether they are beginners or advanced, as they have never done such exercises before. The various special exercises enhance mobility and stability, provide a lot of satisfaction and self-confidence, which alone is a great benefit of this form of exercise. But the fun doesn't stop here. Besides building basic strength, you can also learn different static elements, making the process truly exciting. Skills like the L-sit, headstand, shoulder stand, elbow lever or handstand are good and relatively quickly achievable challenges for everyone. In the gymnastics method system, these are performed in parallel with building basic strength, adding great variety to the training process. So the process begins with the completely new learning journey, joint preparation. Then, besides building basic strength, we develop impressive skills. After that, there are many variations of the basics to perform. You can modify the time under tension, do different variations on the rings, train with extra weight, and learn many other advanced skills. Therefore, with bodyweight training, there are many options to explore, which I think are worth trying, at least in part, before starting gym training. Once you have the basics, or even reach a slightly more advanced level, then by all means, try gym training, weightlifting, or other forms of exercise. I hope no one misunderstands this. I'm not saying this is the only good form of exercise. I simply believe that it's worth knowing your body first, building self-confidence by being able to move it at least at a basic level, and then I highly recommend trying other forms of training. The more versatile your movement and experience is, the better, but first, you should have a basic level. Most people skip the basics and try to be good at everything right away, starting with more advanced steps instead of the first one. If you want to start on this path and gradually build your strength and physique, whether you're a complete beginner or restarting according to a precisely structured system, click the link below, download the Gymnastics Method app in the App Store or Google Play Store, become a member and get access to our programs, tutorials, daily workouts and much more. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more. If you haven't watched my earlier videos about gymnastics training, check them out on the end screen now.